Yo,
Yo, what's up?
what's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing well, man. How are you?
Doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. How was the homework and stuff like that?
It was good. I didn't finish chapter 3 of the book, but
Okay.
I managed to tackle everything else.
All right, bet. Shoot, we can start with your trading plan.
Okay. Um, you want me to just read it out to you?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So this is just for the 100 count I have currently. Um, well, I'm gonna ignore that. This is just for in general. My monthly requirement I put as 20,000.
Okay.
So that the weekly requirement would be 5.
Okay.
Trades per week, I settled at 2 to 3.
Okay.
Um, so my comfy lot size,
So
see, I
how much? What's the profit per trade for you to get to your weekly if you only taking 3 trades?
it's about 1,300,
Okay. Cool.
right? I
Right.
think so.
Right. So you need to write that out too because that's important.
I'm actually, yeah, this was just for 100K because I put the comfy lot size at 2.5.
So how many
Mm,
pips? How many pips do you need to make 1,300 with a 2.5 lot size?
it's about 30 or 20, 25 to 30.
So you need to write that down. So that's your average pips that you need to catch.
Okay. Aggressive lot size is 5. Do you think that makes sense?
Yeah,
Is okay. Because I used to I used to put like 10 and 20 lots in and shit and put
it's OD.
huh?
I said that's OD.
Yeah. That's why those challenges got blown.
Mm-hmm.
And then I put the comfy stop loss at 50 pips.
50 pips. Yeah, that's smooth.
I yeah, I'd rather say 30, but I feel like 50 is where I feel actually comfortable, like to give it some breathing room,
And
depending on the
this is for which pair?
that would be between EU and then US 30. But
So
50
you would
pips is translated to points, right?
nah, you would have a different stop loss for US 30. So for
Okay.
EU, I would say like 30 to 35 pips is a good stop loss. Where US
Yeah.
30 is gonna be 100 points. I mean 1,000 points. So 100 pip, like 100 points.
1,000 points?
It's 100. It's what is it? It's 1,000 points, but like 100 pips. It's the conversion is crazy, but yeah, when you
Yeah.
see it on the thing, it's like 100 points.
Okay. Yeah, I actually, you want to know what's crazy? So, are we gonna go over trades at all?
But yeah, for sure.
Okay. I'll save it for later then. Okay. That was it. Those are the questions I wrote down.
Okay, cool. So
So,
how you feel about your trading plan? You feel like you're gonna be able to follow it?
yes. Um, I think honestly, I felt comfortable. I want to make 20K a month from trading.
Right.
I like
It's
period.
possible. It's
When
possible.
I but telling you that, I felt like uh I felt like I might be shooting for too much. You know what I mean? I
Why?
don't know. I don't
that
know. It's
shit,
weird.
that shit is more than possible. We just broke it down how
Yeah,
to do it.
yeah.
You taking three
But
trades. If you're taking 3 trades a week, you know how much you need to make per trade. You know how many pips you need to be looking for. You need 90 pips a week.
yeah,
90 pips a week, averaging out 5,000 a week. That's not hard.
yeah,
That's not hard at all. That's why I have you doing this exercise in this process so you can perceptually see like it's not hard at all. Like that's what this skill can allow you to do. Like 30 pips, 30 pips, 30 pips. You don't even gotta trade all 5 days of the week.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well,
And that's just
yeah.
three trades. And that's just three trades. Imagine if like you hit your first three trades in a row and can go for 5 trades one week or 7 trades. You know what I'm saying? Like you never know. So it's like, you
Well,
know,
how does that work like in regards to your trading plan? Like say you just see opportunities, but your trading plan is like three. Do you
right.
just
So you keep going till you hit your threshold. That's why you gotta understand what your threshold is. So you keep going. I wish I would stop at 3 trades if I just hit three in a row. Like, no, you gotta keep striking while the iron's hot. So if
okay.
you hit them three and now you have equity 5,000 and it's only Wednesday, like why wouldn't I trade Thursday and Friday? Why wouldn't I chance
Mm,
some of that fluff equity to see, you know, but I have a threshold in place where it's like, okay, well, if I take this kind of L or this kind of L, then all right, I'm done. Like, cool, I made what I made. Cool. I can charge it to the week. I still made what I made and be able to go into next week with a good mindset and stuff like that. So that's
okay.
how you do that. Like,
Because if I'm being honest, I wanted to put 5 to 7, but I don't want to
what's
overtrade.
wrong with five to seven? That's how much that's how many trades I take usually. My trading weeks is like 5 to 7 setups. Like
I
it,
thought you trade like once a. You said you trade like maybe. Oh, you did say 2 weeks out of the month, though,
yeah. So
huh?
those weeks that I'm trading, I'm catching like 5 to 7 setups, like
Okay, okay,
for
all
sure.
right. That's
Yeah.
what's up then. Because
Some
I
weeks,
saw.
some weeks 10. Like it just depends on how I'm scaling. Like
Yeah.
and what my goal is, you know what I mean, for that month. You know.
Okay.
So
All right, bet. Yeah.
yeah.
Because I started strong this week. I started trading yesterday.
Okay.
Did extremely well, and then today the cards just were not in my. I didn't trade. Okay, that's a lie. I put in like a couple small trades, but I had to accept the fact that I was at work, so I stopped. I
Yeah.
pulled out in like really small profits. I was like, dude,
Yeah.
you just can't fucking trade today.
Right.
Like, so I just didn't trade today,
Right.
even though there was a couple moves, but it's all right.
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna
Because
be every day, bro. Like it's
I
all
thought about in one of your videos, you said like today there could be a good move, but tomorrow there could be a better move or like a great move. So I
right.
was like, there'll be something better tomorrow.
Yeah. And that's how it should be all the time. Like it's always gonna be moves. Like it's moves happening right now. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
developing. So it's like like you can't have FOMO with this. You cannot have FOMO with this. Like because you'll be chasing, and that leads to too much exposure of your account. You know what I mean? So it's like you want to just come from this for like a zenful round and just be able to have that balance so that way when you on it, you can see everything that the market is trying to show you. You're not being blinded by like, you know, your thoughts and perceptions of what you need or want from the market. It's more so just gradually flowing with the market and being to extract as you need to.
All right. Right on.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, what notes did you get from the book so far?
Uh, the biggest thing I can think of right now is disposition effect, and I suffer from that.
All right, talk about that.
Um, it's the tendency for people to lock in gains and ride losses. That's like literally my trading career in a nutshell. Is because, and then, I mean, yeah, because I'll just like, and then the sunk cost effect too. Like
Mhm.
those go hand in hand. So, like even today, the trades I put in, I didn't let them ride mostly because I was like, dude, I'm at work. Like, I told myself I wouldn't trade today. So I put in a really small ones, came out in profit. I was like, dude, I'm cutting myself off. So that was more of just like a discipline thing for me. But they still went in my favor.
Mhm.
So it's like if I just had that like the discipline and the confidence to just trust my fucking analysis, I would have been up like fat.
Right.
Like every single one. I mean, it was only EU and US 30. both of them just fucking sold, dude.
Yeah,
Just like, and I get good entries too.
yeah.
It's the dumbest shit ever. So it's when I'm like, sometimes I'll take a bad entry,
Mm-hmm.
or in the past I've taken bad entries because I see the move and I'm like, ah, shit, like let me get in here. And
Okay.
then, or I'm revenge trading and I'll like buy at the resistance level. And
Yeah.
then I'm like, oh, but it'll go back up. And then I just lost like, I lost all of my profits because I'm not taking the full profit from like my setups.
Mm-hmm.
I'm only taking small ones.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm taking like fractions of my profits, but taking the full risk.
Right.
So then it cancels out or I lose more.
Yeah.
It's
You never gonna be able to get that kind of turnaround like that.
Yeah. And so then when I see the outcome of like, damn, that was like 5K, that was 10K. Sometimes I'm dropping moves that's my 20K.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but I have to just let it, I have to be patient, dude.
Bro, you gotta be comfortable. That's the
Yeah,
You gotta be comfortable. If you're not comfortable, you ain't gonna be able to see them 20K, 10K days, shit like that.
yeah,
Because like you say, you're gonna be steady taking a fraction, and that's the problem with scalping. Because when you scalping,
yeah,
you're taking a fraction, and then the whole move actually happens. You got out too early, and now you got that FOMO.
yeah.
That's how that shit goes.
I have to treat this like a demo account because I'll swing in demos. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh, cool. I'll
yeah,
let it sit overnight. I
yeah.
don't care. And then I wake up, it's in good profit. I'm like, cool. And then when it's the real account, I'm like, like I can't even keep a trade in for a minute without
Crazy,
freaking
bro.
out.
Well, why? Why? Why is that? Why is the fear there? Like, if the confidence and the analysis, you know, is right. When you paper trading, you know it's right. When you demoing, you know it's right. Why not just give yourself 30 trades just to follow your plan, no matter what, with a certain lot size? Like, you got the account now. Like, just follow your plan. Like, follow it. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's gonna come down to the discipline and then just understanding your thresholds. Like, all right, when I need to stop, when I need to walk away, when I need to take profit, when I need to be cool and being comfortable, maintaining your comfortability. Like, because it's a spectrum. It's definitely a spectrum. Like, you're not just always going to be like, oh, yeah, I'm in the center, I'm good, I'm here. Like, no, you're going to be steady swaying on the spectrum because when you're in a win streak, you're all the way over here to the right, confidence high, everything. Like, can't nobody tell you nothing. You talking it, you walking it. And then when you losing and stuff, you on a, you fragile. Everything about you is fragile. Confidence is dwindled. Fear starts to kick in, everything like that. So you have to be able to understand what it's like for you on that spectrum and where you are, and be real with yourself and understand where you need to be at all times for you to operate and optimize, successfully for your business to run. You know what I mean? Even when the losses come, even when the win streak comes, you have to be able to put yourself back in a balance scheme to get yourself and pull yourself out of those losses. That's a part of the mindset. That's a part of the work. That's a part of knowing where to go, what to do, what practices to have. You know, but if you're somebody who is so reactive about everything, so reactive about a moment, so emotional about the situation, and putting so much of yourself into it, then you're gonna lose every time. You're never gonna really be able to fully blossom and spread your wings as a trader. You're always gonna be knit tight, and that's
Yeah,
the scalping habits are, and all of those things like that. God spread your
yeah,
wings, man. God spread your wings. You can't, especially like, you owe it to yourself, with these accounts and stuff like that. Like, you got a nice size of funded account. Like, you owe it to yourself, so it's like,
yeah,
you know, but if you stay on that one side of the spectrum, bro, like, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be super, super hard. So it's like knowing, boom, all right, I took these couple L's, all right, bam, let me go study my candlestick analysis, or this happened to me in the markets, all right, boom, let me go read, so that way, I'm strengthening a certain part of how I'm thinking and going about things. or let me write certain stuff down, like just knowing how to operate with yourself so that way, like I say, when you're interacting with these markets, you can interact from a certain presence, be present and understand, what you need to do to extract from it. Because if you don't know, if you're in limbo, you're just like everybody else out there gambling the money, and overexposing your account.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, man. But no, let's go over the back testing homework.
Okay. This was confusing, not confusing, but am I going to share my screen? Okay. Boom. I just marked things up the way I normally do.
As you should.
Because I was trying to like copy your back testing video and I was just confusing myself.
Nah, I
So,
wanted you to do it the way that you do it.
okay, so this is EU.
Cool.
So let me try to remind myself of what happened here. Oh boy. Okay, so one sec. Okay, yeah. It was like this most recent one. And then, okay, let's just go here. I think this one was kind of just on the 1 hour. Um, damn, bro. I swear there was something else, but I'm gonna go over here because this is actually has more detail on it. Anyways, so on the daily, there's I just noticed exhaustion here, on the right side, because price just keeps dropping from there. And there's also, can you see my mouse?
Yep.
Okay, so on the left side, this is a order block here. So that order block lines up with my resistance level slash exhaustion area.
Okay.
So we have that.
So how would you
Um,
so how would you execute based on that area?
um, I'm definitely, I mean, I'm looking for a sell here, but realistically, I'm looking for this to like come up here and
Oh,
retest.
I'm asking you is based on that area already, how would you have gotten in for the sale?
Oh, what do you mean?
Like you talked about the order block, you talked about the exhaustion area, but you didn't back test off of it to like show me how you would have taken advantage of it. So it's there, but like how would you have taken advantage of it to get in for the sale based on the information that you see?
Oh, um, straight up, I don't know because I never fucking back test.
Yeah.
This is a new practice for me,
Okay. So
to
yeah.
be completely honest. So I just found like whatever I did here, I have actually four markups on US 30, but this one I just like found I found a move and I just marked it up. I didn't really know what
No,
to
that's a
do
good
here.
move. That's a good move. Explain
So
to me your thought.
explain it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let's see, on the 4 hour, I'm gonna get rid of the fibs. I'll just leave them. So yeah, there was this big buy move and
Okay.
it broke structure
Okay.
on this. So I think that's replicated here on the daily. Yeah, it broke structure here. So uh, it broke this and then continued up. Wait,
That's not the same.
bro, I'm fucking tripping, dude. Come on, Daniel. Okay. It broke this. No, this is just a lower time frame entry. Man, why am I so nervous? Okay. It broke here. And then like all of this sideways movement, this is liquidity. It's just a buildup of orders for a move. This is that last sell candle before the buy that broke the structure, which I consider that order block right there. So it bought up to here. So really, like the way I trade is I just look for these the order block, the break of the structure, and the retest.
Okay.
And I just follow market structure. So that um normally I put the stop loss right under the order block, or maybe a little bit further, but I just put it right under the order block here.
Mm-hmm.
And that touched for like uh, just for like 2 pips of drawdown, and
Okay.
then it got up. So
So your stop loss would have been 12 pips.
yeah, well, I mean, based off my new trading plan, it would probably be 30.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
That gives it breathing room. Because honestly, this is going to be good for me because I'll do this because I'm like, yeah, that risk to reward ratio, and then I'll get stopped out. So um, I said 30 to 35 pips, so we'll go with that, like 36 pips or 35 right there, which is still that like a 1 to 5 reward. Risk to reward is great in my opinion. That's like I'm cool with that. Because that gives me that like if I win 7 or if I win 3 out of 10, I'm still out. So that's cool. Um, first of all, okay, so then the bigger fib, the order block is right next to that 50% line, which is also in line with this. Um, I call this I mean, do you know like all the smart money terms? Like a breaker block?
No, I don't know what a breaker block is.
Okay, so the breaker block is this right here. It's basically like the order block going the other way before the break.
Okay.
So I see this all the time where it'll reverse
Mm-hmm.
and it'll touch off that breaker block, which is also in line with this order block and the 50% level, which is also uh, support and resistance level.
Okay. In the past. Yeah.
So that's like a pretty strong confluence there to
Exactly.
enter for this buy.
Nice.
Um, and then it just went up. So that's like exactly how I pick out my trades is I just look for the breaks or the continuation of a trend. And if I'm just following a trend, I'm just looking for that like order block entry every time.
Okay.
Um, I mean, sometimes you don't get that.
You don't, and that's what I was gonna say. So that limits you
Yeah.
to a lot of to a lot of setups. I mean,
Yeah.
only a few setups, honestly. You know what I mean? So that's the only
Yeah.
thing that is that like yeah, that happens, but like that's not about to happen all the time. It's not gonna be that
No.
all the time. And that's why I said,
Right.
how could you enter off of that exhaustion area that you had up there that did like, you know, that last point of resistance before it fell down.
Yeah.
Like you
Um,
analyze areas like that, you know.
I'm sorry.
I say you should be able to analyze areas like that right there.
Okay. So this was interesting too because I just got back into trading. Like, I'm just gonna screw it. Okay. So I got in back into trading right around like this area on the buy.
Okay.
So
But the thing is,
Or
like, so once you got up back up in that area, you could draw your exhaustion zone again from
okay,
that left resistance to where it had made the resistance at.
let's see. It was like up here.
Right. Let me show you though. I'm gonna get on my chart and show you.
Okay.
Okay. Where's all this shit? I don't know what that is. All right, so this is the area you was looking at. This is the area that you had marked off.
Yes.
All right. So when I'm asking you how could you have seen this coming, right? Because you were advised here, that's cool and everything, right? But structure's telling you that we have a downtrend here because we're making lower lows, lower highs, right? As well with our moving average, right? We had the breaker structure, like you said, that happened down here. Right. Once we got that breaker structure, right, this is a counter trend on the higher time frame. It's a short-term uptrend, but it's still a counter trend, right? Because
Yeah.
we're all still bearish, right? Expecting that we're trying to make some point of resistance, right? First point of resistance could have been here, second point could have been here, right? So the market starts slowing down once you saw this area happen up here to start to respect this, right? We got that higher low that was made. So being back on that daily time frame, right? Once that higher low was made, boom, that's when you could have had, some type of trend line there as well, right? Just so you can kind of gauge that uptrend that's being there, right?
Hmm.
Even being able to see that, boom, going back down to the 4 hour, like you said, once those higher lows got up in here and you started to see that resistance top out, right? You saw areas of resistance up here. Could have had like some type of random line here, right? Could have some type of random line up here, understanding where that support is, right? We had support being made here, right? Came up here, tested resistance again, came back, made this higher low point here, tested resistance there, right? Test higher low point here, right? So all up in here is where we started to see the transition start to happen because the counter trend was slowing down, right? And we were still slowly starting to get back into the seller's mentality, right? So market came back up here, tested one last time. We saw the break start to happen, and then we got lower highs start to happen here, right? But all in this area is where you want to be at because this is where you want to be doing your analyzing on the lower time frame.
Hmm.
Right. So when all of this is happening, these are the highest points, right? The highest points that's in that market at that time. Right. So this is the highest point that the market is at. Right. So when the market came back up here, even on our entry time frames, right, being like M30, we could have had like another exhaustion zone here just based on M30 and what we got going on. Right. So we see that, boom, go down, get a little bit more information in that area. Right. And now we can clearly see what's going on, right? We clearly see we got the break of the minor support that happened here, right? Came down, made that low, right? And then from there, pulling that fib out, point A, point B, point C, 78.6, like you say, lines up with like that order block area up in here,
Hmm.
right? Good confluence zone up in there, right? Even with the 78.6 on the lower time frame, we could angle out some kind of trend line here, right? Just to help us with momentum on the lower time frame, right? So we can kind of see what's going on from that standpoint. But from that point, all right, this is the area that you want to be in.
Yeah.
This is the area
So
that you want to be in. It probably look better on M5 too, seeing that how that candle was made. Yep. See, it looks better on M5. So seeing that break happen, boom, come back up, right? You started seeing these areas happen here. So this is the areas like I like to enter in. Like when I see candles happen like this, right? Anything
Hmm.
area, anything like breaking down up in here, like I would have been cool with entries anywhere in that area, just so that way when I put my stop loss in, right? 30 points we said, right? Or it really could have been right outside the fluctuation zone, 25 points this time, right? Just because it makes more sense, right?
Yeah.
This boom, and then we still target, we still looking for that negative 27%, right? So that's still 65 pips. You know what I
So
mean?
is negative 27 always your first TP?
Yep. Hmm.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yep. Especially on the lower time frame. You know what I mean? Like we're on our entry time frame, so I definitely want to hit this first, right? And that's 70 pips. So you got to think that's
That's the
twice your.
that's the negative 27?
But it's negative 61.8. My bad.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even here though, that's 50 pips. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
You know, and if you just had it to hold, then but you would have been looking at your higher time frame back based off of H1, based off the area that you was at off of H4, it being the exhaustion zone, based off the daily. Like you would have been looking at those higher time frame candles and waiting for that bigger momentum to come in, which is sellers, right? And that indecision, right? And then, like I said, it stayed on the bottom side of that exhaustion zone area. So even up in these areas right here, in this exhaustion zone area, you could have had broken that area down as well, right? Broken that area down where here you're seeing like, a high point here. So on this time frame, we could have took the test of resistance here, do like a random line over here. That made sense, right? Broken that down on M5, back on our entry time frame, right? And on M5, you already know from the higher time frame, you're coming from a lower high point, right? You already got the test of resistance here, right? And even if you wanted to, you could have had some type of counter trend line up here, you know what I mean? Just to make it make sense, right? So if you not taking entries here, like up here, like this would have been a confident entry up in here, just understanding where you're at. You know what I mean? Down at the bottom side of your major daily exhaustion area. And on top of that, you're seeing exhaustion here, bearish engulfing here, right? But even if not, boom, you wait for the break of support to happen. Break of support happened there, boom, went down, came back up, right? So even if you measured that with your fib, right? All right, you got an 88.6 retracement, and this is where you place that 5 lot. You know what I mean? Because your risk to reward is so good.
Yeah. So is this not, would you not consider this like scalping?
I mean, I mean, I wouldn't consider it scalping. Nah, like
Like the 5 minute is not?
I mean, you just this not bait your trade isn't based off the 5 minute. You didn't do all your analyzation off the 5 minute. You're just entering
True. This is just
small.
for the entry.
Yeah, you're just entering on the
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, you're just entering on the small piece of price, and then you're back out analyzing on the higher time frame. Like I said in the first example, you would have had to go back to the H4 to see how those bearish candles are
Yeah.
are coming into the market, how that momentum's coming into the market. Yeah, this is
Yeah.
a small piece of price, so that way your risk to reward can stay small. Because if you do everything on the H4, your stop loss would be almost 100 pips every time, every move.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we come down here to get the good risk to reward, like even on here, 120, 110, good stop up, even max 10 pips this order. So that's a good
Yeah.
order. And then you're expecting a lower low. So you're gonna be negative 27%. What's that? 30 pips. That's your goal. You see what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah.
And then this time you use the 5 lot. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Because risk to reward was only 10 pips instead of 30. So I can use a 5 lot. Boom. Now I just caught 30 pips with a 5 lot. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, that's nice.
you just 2x your goal with just knowing how to go about things and waiting on what you need to see. Right. And then even with this, right, the type of trader I am, I would have had an entry here, right? I would have waited for it to make that low here, right? I would have drew some type of counter trend line here to make it look like some type of bearish pennant that's happening, right? And then I would have went to the 1 minute time frame. See,
I do a lot of entries on the 1 minute, to be honest.
see. Let me, yeah, there. Yep. So then I would have went to the 1 minute time frame, right? Saw this resistance up here on the back side of my counter trend line, right? Drew some type of resistance area right up in here. All right, let me change the color of that. Right up in there, and then boom, I'd have had an entry right here at this bearish variation. Entry right there, stop loss right outside the fluctuation zone, right? And then boom, I would have took that right back down too.
Okay.
So then you got a scaling entry. So now you got 2 entries in, and you could have had a 5 lot here, and then you could have went soft with the 2 lot there. That's 7 lots that you done scaled in, and the whole time you got 30 pips there and 26 pips there on that order.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
when you start doing the math and you really start lining things up the way that you need to, bro, like it's more than enough. You can make 20,000, bro. Like,
okay.
You telling me that, like, that's normal. That's normal, especially with a funded account. That shit is normal.
Okay.
That's expected. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not out the blue. You know what I mean? Like, that's what top tier traders do. Like, you put the fucking work in, and you get the results that you need. And that's what I'm saying. This process is gonna shape you out. That's what the one-on-ones is for, is to shape you out to become all of that, you know. But you gotta know when to look at all of this stuff, and then, like I said, boom, zoom back out to the higher time frame that you saw everything on in the first place, and be able to understand, you know, what things are looking like on that time frame, because then that's when they get fun, and you can actually start holding things longer than you thought. When the higher time frame, you still seeing bearish candles on the higher time frame, and based on the higher time frame, that's a high, low, lower high. So you're expecting what? To break this last low and make a lower low. Yeah. So when you know you're structured and you going off of things like that, you know what I mean? You can hold, and things get real fun. You know what I mean? It get real fun.
I mean, that was so when it was buying up to that weekly order block, I was watching the chart, I was buying it. And then I got out of my buys when it hit the weekly order block. And then I was like, oh, I mean, I think it's gonna fucking reverse. And then obviously it's been selling for the past like month now.
Yeah.
So, but I just didn't have like the confidence to just, I don't know, like it's not even like a feeling, it's just what the market does when it does that shit. And I just didn't like, that's when I was still trading at FTMO challenge, like just a month ago or whatever. Could have had plenty of nice sells there, but I mean, I still have like made sells on the way down. So, but that is good to, that's a good way of setting it up. Shit. All right.
Yeah, but for homework, what
See,
I got.
okay.
Hold on. What I got coming.
Okay.
It's about to end in a minute, so I gotta give you.
Okay.
I need you to read. So you chapter 2, chapter 3. Try to get to like chapter 5.
Okay.
Be taking notes. But I need you to do 3 transitional setups. So basically, track a uptrend, and then take your first sell opportunity, and then the same thing, track a downtrend, and then take your first buy opportunity. Like, but I need you to do 3 of those. And you could do 2 on US 30 and 1 on EU, or 2 on EU and 1 on US 30. And then we're gonna dive on and be on the charts the whole time next time, breaking this stuff down. So, but it needs to be broken down, and now you can kind of see more. And even as you're going through my course and stuff like that, you can see what I expect and how in depth I want you to be breaking things down, and how you need to talk about things and build a story around why you're getting in and why you're risking this much, because that's going to make you that much more confident when you're able to flow and be more intraday than scalping. You know what I mean? And remember, we're not scalping. We're just going down to get a little piece of data, but our main picture is on the higher time frame. It's on H4. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Anything, we draw our exhaustion zone off the daily. You know what I'm saying? So that's where everything based off of. And then we started to work our way down. And then when we got what we needed, we work our way back out to see how long we can maintain.
Okay.
All right. But yeah, good session. And then let's lock back in Friday.
Okay.
All right.
Same time.